Thank you for joining me today for this interview. I'm so excited to hear about the way you do your thing in the classroom as co-teachers. This is what this is about, your dynamics, how y'all work together in the classroom. Let's just start by some introductions.
Yeah, so I'm Kaylee Tullgren. I am a third grade teacher in ES3, and I have worked here for my second year now.
I'm DaSilva. I am also a third grade teacher fellow, and this is my first year being a teacher.
Awesome. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
So which co-teacher model do you currently use?
We use multiple depending, throughout the day. There is, here I am going to be exposed that I don't know the
No, it's
official
okay.
name.
It's okay.
Parallel teaching.
Yep.
During small group reading, where we are each pulling groups and monitoring the scholars who aren't in a group. While I lead teach ELA, Genesis acts as a supporting teacher. She'll typically pull either a small group or she'll transition and work with the whole group on a well-mastered topic while I pull the small group of scholars who are struggling in the area. Just so I can help catch those back up to the standard that the rest of the class is at. During science, Genesis lead teaches, and I play that supporting role, so monitoring, correcting behaviors, keeping track of our pride card scholars. So it really depends throughout the day, and I feel like it also depends on our energy level. We're very transparent with each other, and so if there's a day where I come in and I'm like, honestly, I'm not feeling my best right now. I'm
that's where I swoop in and I'm like, you know what? I got you. Don't worry.
Exactly.
It's just an energy. It's just an energy bounce. So when one is not coming in, not that, woo.
Yeah, maybe you're sick, the voice is gone,
Yeah.
There's something going on that's distracting you. Well, we'll be honest with each other.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, today is not the best day for me, so maybe if you can help do a couple more full class directions today than typical, would be really appreciated.
I love that. I'm going to go a little bit off the script that I have here because I want to build off of this. How did you build that dynamics where it's one person can see the other person might not be at their best, and it's hey, how did y'all create that dynamic?
Yeah, so I feel like this is more of a me question. This being my first year, I feel like what Kaylee has that's good is that she is, like you said, she's very transparent, she's very vocal, and she's very direct. So having that boundary established in the beginning of my position was already a step into my growth throughout the year, because she was just very it was a very warm, warm demander type of thing. It was very you did this, but next time I would, right? This was good, but next time I would instead, right? So every time she would say something like that, it would kind of stick with me, and it would build me to take in what she said to do next time, and then I put it to work and I put it to motion. Then every single time it got to that point where so she just stopped having to tell me next time do this. She was already oh, all right.
Yeah, so Genesis would come up and be like, oh, that went really well, but I think I needed to do this more. And I was thinking, that's exactly what I would,
Just the plain honesty, and just and then you being receptive to it, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I think in the beginning of the year as well, you asked to step in initially as more of an observer, because you had never been in a classroom setting before. And so I think that that started the open communication of being able to admit that hey, this isn't something I am
comfortable with. This is new to me. I'm afraid. I need to just observe for a little bit before I'm comfortable to take that step in and take over type of thing. So that's what it was in the beginning. It was very much me just watching. She was telling me how to do this, how to do that, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. Then the confidence would be there. Sometimes it wouldn't, but that's normal, right? It happens. First year teacher, sometimes the confidence wasn't there, and I was honest with her then. I was tell her I don't feel like I can do this, but the thing with Kaylee is that she did not let me not do it. She would make me do it.
She's girl, stop playing.
Yeah, she would make me do it. So she made me do it. And as much as uncomfortable I was, it was always there was always feedback there. There was always feedback on how to get better. So every time there was feedback to get better, I applied it.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
yeah.
So it seems like co-teachers need to be vulnerable with each other.
Yeah, you gotta
and
show your
honesty.
cards. Yep.
And be honest with each other.
Yep.
Okay, and be receptive to that. Right? Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. How do you establish your roles and responsibilities? Is it set by the school, or do you like set those roles and responsibilities like with the teaching part?
I would say a mix of both. At the beginning of the school year, we knew that I would be lead teaching ELA and that Abby would be lead teaching math as the certified teachers within third grade. And then it's just been like a trial by error in feeling out what works for our team as a whole.
Okay.
So initially, Jenna and Jamie, the TF in the other room, they would stay in their homerooms the entire day. And so they got to see me teach, they got to see Abby teach, they got to really understand their first like set of kids before we were talking, and we're like, maybe it may be better if we start working on like feeling confident within a subject now that we are confident within our room. Like once you're comfortable like being in a room and making sure children are staying safe and doing the expected behaviors and doing their learning jobs, okay, then we can move on. Let's work on feeling more confident in teaching a subject or supporting in a specific area, because third grade ELA becomes very like, it's very fast paced. They're writing essays, they're writing paragraphs, and so like having that content knowledge is very beneficial in supporting a core block. And so that's when we made the change, like as a team, that like Jenna would be the like ELA TF and Jamie would be the math TF.
Okay.
And so then like rotating rooms with Abby and I as we taught the course in the different rooms. I feel like that also really worked. There was also a time where you and Jamie were teaching science together. If you want to speak more to that and like why we changed.
Yeah. We also did that flip, like we were talking responsibility here, right? So we did that flip where it's like we lead teach in our own rooms now, right? So like Jamie's TF in here, so she will lead teach in here. And I'm TF in here, I will lead teach science in here. So having that switch was also like a huge step, because me and Kaylee already built that relationship of communication and being vocal, and you know, her still giving me that feedback. So it was a kind of like an extra push in my growth journey, I feel like, because having her there, like because I was with her all day, she was like my comfort, like she's my comfort, so she's in the room with me. So hearing her more than other people was just more, it was more beneficial to me to be able to keep that growth and also like keep our relationship strong in the classroom. So I feel like that was just like the perfect switch. It was a good switch, and it's been fun ever since. Like we just have fun. So
yeah, I love the new dynamics, because I mean, first of all, there's like more of a teacher that has like more experience in the room too, versus like two brand new people like trying to figure it out together. So I'm like really happy about like the new connection and like just the dynamics between both of you, like just blown away. Can you share an example of a successful co-teaching experience and what made it work well?
I feel like we have so many. I don't know, do you want to start with
If
ELA?
you have something on the top of your head. My brain is completely pulling.
Well, so in ELA, right, we do big assignments, right, as like, for example, essays. We've already written 2 essays or 3 essays. Or just 1. No, we've written 2. This is our second one.
There was 2 frog essays. We have this essay.
So we've written a bunch.
Learning challenge
Sorry,
essay.
to sum that up. So we've written some essays in this room. Sorry, but having obviously there's a time cram. ELA is fast paced. It's always a time cram, especially for Kaylee. So I feel like the one thing in our coaching that's so successful is that like whenever we are in ELA, I allow her to pull those people that she needs to pull at her table, whoever needs teacher accommodation, and I'm literally running around the room, getting everybody done with paragraphs, their conclusions, their intros, like just banging them out, and like just seeing.
You should see her right now. Like when we're in the essay mode,
Like I'm just
You
like,
need to invite me for an essay.
yeah,
Yes.
you have to see
will,
it.
we
You have
will.
to see it. And it's like having Kaylee watch. Like we have like a little check, like a board over there that's like, if you're done with this one, check it off. So right, and having those boxes be checked off so fast, it's like it lights up Kaylee's eyes. So I feel like the co-teacher
I love
dynamic
that.
in that aspect is just because she knows she can count on me. Like she knows that she doesn't have to feel skeptical about pulling other kids at her table because she knows she can count on me to just run around that room and just get it done, right? Like have them get done by the time limit. So like one day intro, boom, finish your intro today. Around everywhere, finish this. Nope, finish this. Nope, you got this. Keep going. Like you know, kind of like encouraging words, but also helping at the same time, right? Like kind of guiding questions, telling them finish. So I feel like that's pretty successful.
We even like communicated like that is the choice that you would prefer doing. That like you would much prefer working with like 20 kids who like have a general idea of what they're doing than like the 8 kids who like need like a lot of extra support. And so I feel like because it's your first year, also like giving you that choice because of course like I can be comfortable doing either. But, working to like each other's benefits. In science, I really liked when we were doing the scales and the reactions. So we had like it set up where we were each, it was like the vinegar and baking soda lab in science. I don't know if you've gotten to see that in other ones. Yeah. And so like, does the weight change after the chemical reaction? And so we would like pull half the class to each of our tables and we did the reaction there. But I just feel like we had made it so fun of like choosing like who goes to which table, and like granted it was all thought out before. I was like, okay, I'll take this this color, this color, this color. If you take this color, we'll like balance out the like behaviors and the accommodations so that all these 2 kids can't be next because they won't do anything besides
I don't know, I want to join one of your planning sessions. This sounds like fun.
It's literally just us in the morning being like, all right, in ELA we're doing this, just as a refresh, do you want to do this?
We're going to split these groups up, we're going to do this. Yep, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah. And so we would like pull them to the groups, to the tables, and the kids were like so excited. They're like, "Oh, Miss Tullgren chose Rita be at her table."
Yeah, like just so happy.
I got Miss DaSilva.
Just knowing though, like knowing who's gonna come to us, really. Like, it's so fun.
And then we were like both teaching at our tables, and then we like once we were done the reactions at our table, they would like go back and they worked on the worksheets at their table independently again. And I think that was such like a well balanced and well thought out like parallel teaching, and then back with the whole group and both of us monitoring was like it was a great
that was
time.
awesome.
Nice.
So awesome. Oh, and then like one more about how we winged the scale because there was one experiment where boss kids had to go.
Yeah,
and
because
they went.
Jenna LaFave went on maternity leave, so all of ES3's FOSS kids went early to be returned to storage because our dean of operations was going on maternity. And so they had to measure out weights, or like they were combining like plastic paper clips and metal paper clips, and we had no scales, and they were supposed to weigh the paper clips.
This was our scale.
So I'm out here acting like a scale,
and I'm behind, and I'm like,
we're counting the paper clips.
I love that though.
We improvised.
Is it even now? Miss, your arms aren't straight. I swear.
We made it fun. We improvised. We did our thing. It was so successful. I feel like that was probably like out of this year, this is called the Inquiry Task. That Inquiry Task was like one of the most successful ones that I've seen right now. So it was awesome. They had a lot of writing on it. Like they got it. They got it. They had fun. They were laughing. Like
did they listen to scale to get it personally? The concepts were understood.
Absolutely.
It was completely understood.
Miss, it's a pattern. You're doing a pattern. Who would have guessed?
So yeah, that was. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I feel like that was one of the funnest science classes we had so far. Yeah, but
awesome. All right, we're gonna get into something that like blew me away when I came and observed y'all during ELA, which was the teacher banter. Okay, so how has that teacher banter impacted your classroom in a positive way?
I think we do a really good job of like highlighting the positive within scholars, and we'll like alternate between, because most of the time we try. It started unintentionally, and then I know, or I don't know if it was intentional for you, but I was like, whoa, whenever I'm on this side of the classroom, and then like when I see Genesis moving over here, I'll move over there, or like vice versa, and we'll like always be on opposite ends of the classroom, so I feel like we have like two very different perspectives, and so we're able to call out scholars in like multiple directions who are like meeting expectations or exceeding expectations, and so it's just like a natural like I'll go, you go, I'll go, you go, type thing.
It happened so naturally. Like I knew like it was a struggle at first because I was just so unsure. Like I was like, when do I do it? And when do I know? Then it just became naturally like where it just like, you know, it came out. It just comes out. Like I feel like just because the two me and Kaylee have a relationship now, like we're like good friends, like, you know, like, so it's just like, I don't know, it helps, and I'm super comfortable around her, so, like, that's what also made it help, me being comfortable around the person I'm with every single day, like, most of my day, like, I'm so comfortable around her, we share a lot of things in common, so I feel like that helps.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
yeah.
Why do you think teacher banter is important?
I think it's being here for this first year, I think it's extremely important because I can see how quick like a child can go from like how do you say it, like not, I don't want to say misbehaving because it's not like the word to use, but like, you know, like a little distracted, a little off topic, right? And I can see like, oh, like I know so and so is gonna rock this transition right now, and they're just like, you know, just like
Mr. Silva, you think so and so's gonna rock it? I see so and so saying no. I think they seem confident in themselves. We love confidence.
So like then at that point we have like majority of the class like
so how is it helping?
Like
how is it helping the environment?
It's just like it creates some like sense of like friendly competition within the classroom of like, oh, like I want to get my name called out. I know I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this even better. My bubble's going to be even bigger.
Yeah.
My feet are going to be even quieter.
I feel like it gives them that confidence too in this room. Like it kind of builds a little bit of confidence. They're like, oh, I know I can do this. I'm gonna do it. Like they have that confidence that like I'm doing this. I'm doing a good job right now. So like it just builds the confidence in them too as well. Like in this room, because I mean this room we do have a lot of confident kids in this room. So you know, helping them build their confidence even more is just like, I feel like it's just the key for a very healthy and safe environment, especially like in our room specifically. So I feel like that works.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like that teacher banter, first of all, it shows like the kids that y'all are friends, right? Like that y'all get along, which like is a good model for kids, right? This is when we work together. This is how we work together, right? Like we get along, right? And then you see that impact with kids. That kids want like, oh yeah, look at my teacher. I want to get into the excitement. Yeah, challenge. Yeah, my teachers are challenging. You know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah.
Or like even for like trying to talk before, like we like on the spot like acted out like what a like one person talking, one person listening conversation would be like, or what a back and forth conversation would sound like, because there are all different types of turn and talks that they can do. So whether it's I want you to be building off of your partner's ideas and listening and then building on, or right now just your partner is talking and you are just listening.
And we just acted out too. Like Kaylee will just be like, okay, so if my partner's talking, what am I doing? Let's do like, and we'll do an example. And she's talking and I'm just like, just so they know that it's like,
eye contact,
don't say anything, just hear them, you know?
Yeah.
So,
or like acting as like an ideal scholar as well is something that like I find myself doing in science block at least. Of like I'll grab an empty desk, probably near a scholar who like moves on actual like teacher proximity, and I'll just act like one of the kids. I'll be their turn and talk partner. You can do it with like a kid who like when there's an odd number in ELA for turn and talks.
Like I'll sit down with them, and like we do this thing like where it's like needs to be your partner, and like we kind of like do it, and there's not like in there. Like I do it right away. And I do it right away. So it's like, okay, acting that out.
DaSilva, beautiful, needs to your partner. Thank you.
So it helps like establish like all of those systems and routines and all of those things. I love that.
And I also think it helps establish you as like a authority, like authority role model
Yeah.
within the classroom.
We did.
Because, like, even still, sometimes, like, the kids, like, won't listen. I'll be like, I heard Miss DaSilva give a very clear direction.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I heard a very clear direction. Sit down.
Yeah,
I heard a
exactly.
very clear direction. You need to raise your hand. I heard a very, like,
Mhm.
and so, like, just that reinforcement
Yeah.
as well. Or,
Yeah.
like, when they're talking over me still and you'll be the one to speak.
Y'all just have each other's backs. Like,
Yeah.
no
Oh, yeah.
matter what.
No,
So
yeah.
you need to
No,
understand
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. They
I
see
love
that.
it.
They know that.
Yeah.
That's why it's just like, yeah, when they're talking over, I literally have to like, I'm like, Miss Tullgren, I'm sorry. Can you pause for a second?
Mhm.
And then they're just like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we're good now.
Showing that respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we talked about like all of these positive things. So there has to be like some challenges at times,
Yeah.
right? So how do you navigate challenges or disagreements that you may have, and still maintaining this strong co-teaching experience for both of you?
I feel like this was more in the beginning. I feel like in the beginning it was the feedback, or I would say I don't know how to say this, like the things that Kaylee would recommend me doing, right?
Mhm.
It was very much like it was just like too stunned to speak a little bit because I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
You know, but then it's like having because obviously like being nervous and all, like being your first year, still getting to know someone, like having that, like I had to have that confidence to be like, I need help, I don't know how to do this, right?
Mhm.
And she's very
Once
easy.
again, that
So like,
vulnerability.
yeah, she's very easy too. Like when you show vulnerability.
Yep.
You know what?
Yes, I
You know that
word.
word. You know that word. When I showed that,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what like she just started to help me more. Like I don't know, I can't really think of anything. It's just more of me like, or I would cry to her. I would cry to her, and I'm like, I don't know. And then she was like, just
A little bit of
"You got
empathy.
this."
And
Yeah.
I think
So-
it's understanding where the other person is coming from. And
Yeah.
so, like, you understood that, like, it's only my second year doing this, like, as a licensed teacher. And you were like, oh, like, I need to support more. And I was like, well, this is their first year, like, ever being in a classroom and they don't have, like, an education background. So, like, I need to be doing more. And so just, like, finding ways where we can, like, highlight the positive in each other and,
Yeah.
like, support each other
Yeah.
because we both understood that, like,
Yeah.
there was like definitely challenges that each other faced, and so like working on supporting each other through our challenges. And so how can I support you, like what do you need from
Yeah.
me, like
Yeah.
here's
was
the
always-
resources you have, like
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of that. Like a lot of like reassurance. Like how can I support you with this? Like what can I do to help? Or what can I do to make this easier, right?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
love
like
that.
I'll try to do like a lot. I'll try to do as much for Kaylee. Like she's like, can you do this? I'm like, yeah. Like of course I'm on it. Like you know, like the other day we had to fill in some forms, and I know she was like busy. She was running around all day. Like I was like, I sat down and did them. I did them. I was
Yeah.
like, because you had lunch duty.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, she had lunch duty, and I remember she reminded me in the morning like, oh, you have to do those. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god. And she sounded a little bit stressed, but like.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna ask if you were. I was just like, you know, I'm doing them,
Yeah,
and I would
yeah.
do them for her, like you know, just like things to make each other's work style just easier,
Yeah.
right?
or like when one of us is heating up our lunch, you need your lunch heated up, like
Yeah,
it's the
like,
small
it's-
thing,
yeah.
like understanding that like we are human outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so amazing.
She just picked me up a Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like soda. She's like, yeah.
How do you ensure that students see both of you as equal leaders in this classroom?
I think it's just I heard Miss DaSilva give a direction, or no, Miss DaSilva's the teacher in charge right now. I'm tracking
Yeah.
Miss DaSilva.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Or like we should be listening to Miss Tullgren right now. Her voice is on, so yours is, and sometimes they repeat, most of the time off. Like right, like hey, so
Yeah.
and like you know just like making sure that, and we also show them like we have fun up there. Like we be silly up there with each other too. We're
Yeah.
always just like
Singing the song, dancing in the front and back.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll dance with them like during body breaks. We'll just do the dances with them. We'll go up there with them.
Yeah.
Like I know she carried me one day. I forgot what it was, but I jumped on you and you like carried. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, carry me. Like, you know, we kind of like have that. Like we were just showing them like we're
a
friends
team,
and
yeah.
we're a team and we have fun. So you can have fun too, but you gotta follow the
And like we
directions.
both see each other as teachers, and I feel
Yes.
like seeing each other as teachers
Yeah.
makes the kids see you as teachers.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right, and it immediately opens up the door for that communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I'm gonna just skip to my last question. What advice would you give to teachers who are new to co-teaching and want to build a strong partnership? And not just new to co, because there are multiple people who have been in co-teaching dynamics for a very, very long time, but have not been able to mesh it together the way you two have been able to do in such a short period of time too. Like, what would be your advice for those people or those teachers?
Be vocal.
Have your guard down, you know.
Let your guard down.
Yeah.
Show your emotions.
Yep.
Show them. Don't be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself, because that is the only way that it's gonna get through. If you're pretending to be someone else, or if you're holding back a lot, you're not speaking up, you're afraid of stuff, like having fear, like don't have fear. Don't have fear. Show emotions. Be vocal. I feel like that's the only way like I was able to just form a bond with Kaylee and become her friend. Like we became friends, but we worked together as teachers. But we became friends because I was so honest and vocal, and I would tell her like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, and she would just remind me every single time, like, I know you can.
Yeah.
Like, I know you can. And I'm like,
And I'm here if you need.
exactly. So I feel like that's like the key. That was the key.
Yeah.
Also-
The sooner you understand your co-teacher is going to see you at your best and your worst.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The easier it is.
Yeah.
So.
It also helped that we have like stuff in common and we get giddy over little things. So we're like, okay.
Listening to
Listen
musical
to
theater.
musicals, like, okay.
In the morning, setting up the classroom.
Yeah. So I think that's like the most.
Getting an oil
important-
diffuser.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She let me use her oil diffuser and she plugged it in back there for me.
Oh, I love that.
And this is the best thing ever. So yeah, that really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Genesis. Thank you so much for interviewing with me today. And I am looking forward to coming in, seeing that writing process.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I'll let you know the next
Yes,
step.
please
Oh, yeah.
do.
That's my
And
strongest
to,
block right there.
just to continue to see you guys grow together and like give a great experience to the kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.